Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 287 of Navigating Now. This is our special hot take series where we dig into topics about leadership and life that we think everyone should be talking more about. My name is Tess Kelly, and I'm here today with Nicole Diehl, who has a couple really fun hot takes to share with us today. Nicole, just to get started, how are you coming in today?
Ready. I facilitated a 2-hour session earlier today, which just gives me a lot of energy. I didn't have a microphone in
Okay.
that session, so I'm excited to have one here.
I know. I feel a little incomplete without a microphone, to be honest. I've been looking forward to this conversation all week, though, because one, I'm really curious about, and the other, I'm very passionate about. And
Mhm.
so I'd love to start with your first hot take about eye contact, if you don't
Yes.
mind.
Yes, my headline is eye contact is becoming a lost art.
Okay, tell me
Mhm.
more. Where are you seeing it not happen that it should be?
I was going to say everywhere for a quick answer. So I'll start with I think the pandemic accelerated something that was already happening because of technology. I think technology really started this focus on our screens, whether it's our phone, whether it's, through something like this, especially at
Mhm.
work, through like a Zoom screen or whatever kind of platform you use. And you also see it, in the day to day. People are looking down at their phones when you're walking by. There's no like moments of showing or sharing eye contact in the minutia. It's only in like moments that matter most. And I think there's something to be said about those little moments that are making people very uncomfortable.
They absolutely are. Well, eye contact is super vulnerable. I was actually, when you first brought up this topic, I was like, I'm a little nervous that you're going to tell me I need to start making more eye contact with people. And so I want to hear a little bit more about how do we step into that vulnerability or what do we do with that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think to be fair and to like normalize, this is something as a society we're all experiencing. Again, it's because like the era that we're in is requiring us to be so focused on other things. So our attention is constantly being drawn to things outside of like person to person interaction. So I think the first thing is like start looking up, but more
Mm.
so we need to give ourselves many moments to retrain our brain to get into that comfortable space of having eye contact. And I guess I have a hot take within a hot take.
Let's hear
So
it.
let's start with the workspace. So many of us are on Zoom, another platform. And if you notice, what we're doing is we have on screen, oftentimes we have the other people in the room, assuming everybody's camera on. You also have the content that you're, delivering and presenting. So you're trying to look at these little thumbnails of people, right? And
Hmm.
let's say it's 20 people, that's even harder compared to if it's another person like we are right now. So you got the people involved, the content involved, and then the thing that we aren't talking about is how much we're spending our eye contact looking at ourselves.
Oh my gosh. I turned off on my Zoom my self view because it's one, it's distracting, but also in a normal conversation, I don't see what I look like. Why do I need to know what my face looks like the entire time I'm on a Zoom call? And
Totally.
it's been really helpful for my attention and my ability to have to actually empathetically and like really tune in and listen to people because I'm not worried about what facial expression I'm making or what my hair looks like or what's even going on behind me on my Zoom wall.
Exactly that.
Yeah,
The hot take is everybody start turning on your self or turn off your self
turn it
view
off. Yeah.
because that's honestly where like Zoom fatigue is stemming from. People think it's, spending all of our time on a screen. That's adding a little bit to it, but what's taking it over the edge is the amount of time we're spending self-monitoring ourselves. It's like looking at ourselves in a mirror for hours on hours in the day, and we've never done that before. And all of a sudden we're expecting ourselves to do that now. That's using a lot of energy that we could place elsewhere.
Oh, that is huge and great advice. I didn't even think about that as a great first step on eye contact. Okay, so what else can we do?
Practice it with people that you are comfortable with. And
Mm.
I'm thinking, Tess, when we brought this into a workshop for executive leaders, and I think I initially pitched, maybe it was like an 8 minute. Was it? It wasn't more than that.
You pitched 5
Okay,
minutes.
5 minutes.
Yes, which
Leader
looking
to
back is
leader.
still insane.
Yes. 5 minutes is a long time to just stare at someone. So I think
Yeah.
we brought it down to a minute. And even then, they still felt the impact of like, this is uncomfortable because it's easier to, I guess, have conversation than actually be seen by one another. And I have such a good example of this that I want to share with you, a
Let's
personal
hear it.
example. So you're going to love this because a few days ago, you already know, I went to this, it was like a silent disco yoga session. I really didn't know what to expect other than I saw a picture with people having headphones on and they were doing yoga. I was like, that's great. So I went with a new friend that you actually introduced me to.
Yeah.
So we go to this class. It was super fun. It was freeing because you do like yoga, you get comfortable, you're doing some movement. And then the other half of the session was this, I think they called it aesthetic dancing. Not
Hmm.
something I'm familiar with, but they're playing music and they give you a little bit of structure of like how to just kind of move your body randomly. And then they made it almost a like group exercise, which you could imagine is very vulnerable and uncomfortable dancing around strangers. Not to
Absolutely.
mention when you take the headphones off and it's like silence and you see all of these people just like dancing. It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
strange. But what's funny is like that part, that like dancing through and connecting through dancing, it wasn't as uncomfortable as it was for me and this friend to sit down because this was an exercise they did before we got into the dance part. They had to sit down and look at each other for maybe 20 seconds. And this was with the person, you know, I've started to build like a friendship with. And that was debilitating compared to dancing around strangers. What is that?
That is crazy. Well, ahead of this, when you first told me about this, I was like, I need to do a little research on neuroscience of eye contact. And a couple of the studies that came up were
Mm.
basically like your brain gets flooded when you initiate eye contact with somebody. It's a little bit overstimulating. So, and it can take on just as much resources as doing like a complex math problem. So it is a lot just in general on your nervous system, but on top of that, it's emotionally a lot.
Mm-hmm.
20
Mm-hmm.
seconds, wow.
Felt like five
Yeah,
minutes. But I, in that example, I'll say the more I came out of that and I'm like, what can I do so this feels a little bit more approachable? It
yeah.
might not ever feel pleasant, but I'd rather it feel like neutral than unpleasant. So
Mhm.
I'm challenging myself and I'm going to challenge everybody here that's listening. Practice walking past someone. And again, stranger, low stakes for 3 seconds, looking at this individual. Give them a smile if you'd like to and see what happens because that allows our brain to start rewiring that this is a safe thing to do. Nothing dramatic is going to come from it, even though our internal dialogue's probably like telling us to run for the hills. We're crazy.
I love that. Or for those of you that are not in Chicago walking past people all the time, maybe it's like your barista or somebody.
Yes.
Hold
Yes.
their gaze a little bit longer.
Yes. I love that. Let's
I
make it
love that.
approachable. Yep.
So, one of the big things on eye contact, and I think on both of the hot takes we have today, is this theme of connection, and that
Mm,
they both are really framed around connecting with people a little bit more. And we're in such a heavy virtual world, no matter what we do, and as much eye contact as we try to make on our Zoom calls, there's only as far as we can go. So, I kind of want to segue over to our next take, which is a little bit more about what we can do in some of those virtual or maybe not virtual settings. So, do you want to tell us what it is?
yes. I'm excited. Okay. Our second hot take, icebreakers are back, baby.
I think so too.
And
I,
I think what's
yeah.
important is we define what we mean by icebreakers.
Mhm.
So they're not these things that are just there to fill awkward silence. They're actually about helping our brains arrive to this current moment. Because I think so often, especially in the work setting, we're still thinking about like that last email or maybe that last meeting that we're coming in from. And we need our brains to have some space to set that aside, think about something that's maybe low stakes and just tangible before we get into like more work or something that requires a different energy and a different focus.
Oh, absolutely. When I was thinking about this, I was thinking about it as like it's the transition into the meeting because I mean, most of all my meetings go from they're booked up until the minute that the next minute meeting starts. So there's very little time to move from task to task. And we also know that our clients are doing the same thing. So we have our own kind of version of these, which are our moment to arrive questions.
Mhm.
And I have also a hot take within a hot take, and it's that they should not be rapid fire.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be something that we're just buzzing around the room and everybody can answer really quickly. It should be something that really makes people pause and think, and either sparks curiosity or connection or gets you grounded in the topic that you're about to go into.
Mhm. You need that pause to, like, have a I'm gonna call it a cognitive reset. We all like, the more that we can create little moments of pause, space, the more that we're just gonna be, like, equipped to show up. Like, our brains are
Mhm.
so often wired to be thinking about the past or focused on the future. As many pauses as we can bring into a moment, the more we can just be present, and it's lovely. We need more of that.
Oh, absolutely. And I think there's ways that you can bring in icebreaker questions without people even knowing that that's what you're doing, which is even better.
Fascinating. Tell me more.
For example, the other day, I have a group that I'm like, I don't think they'll like them. I don't think they'll like moment to arrive questions. But we wanted to give them the space to come into the meeting and get settled. So we were like, what can we ask that will help everybody just get on the same page and ease in so that we can get everything done that we need to get done?
Mhm.
We just said, what would success look like for this project? And everybody went around and said, like, what is their vision of success for the end of the project? Not only was it exciting to hear what they had in mind as far as objectives that were outside of the actual scope that we talked about. It was exciting to hear what their personal goals, but it also got us all on the same page of why are we even in this room right now? And they had no idea it was an icebreaker. Now they do
Well
if they're
done.
listening.
If they're
Yeah.
listening now, they do. They know
Yeah.
the secret sauce.
Mhm. Yeah.
What I also think is important is to name, like, the trust that builds.
Hmm.
Like, the more you can call it vulnerability, if you want, but it's just, like, finding things that we can connect on can be so hard. It's like you think back to,
Yeah.
let's say, 10 to 20 years ago when we only had a small, like, subset of, like, television shows to be watching at a single time, or what new books are just out front and center. And nowadays it's like we have so many different streaming platforms. We just have access to so much more that it's hard to find, like, a common ground of, like, how people
Absolutely.
are spending their time, and we have to ask to, like, get to that point. So I think even within work, yes, but also outside of work, I love to ask the question, like, what are you reading or watching or listening to? I think
Hmm.
even just outside of work. And it's interesting how that can bring, just even if people aren't watching the same thing, it just allows for a conversation to unfold naturally.
Oh, absolutely. And it's fun to hear, like, are you more of a streaming person? Are you a podcast person? Or are you
Hmm.
a reader? Like, where do you actually spend your time when you're not in this headspace at work,
Yes.
which is also good to know about people. I do
Mhm.
also love there's this Instagram community. I told you a little bit about this that has this really fun way of bringing up unconventional icebreakers. And I have even a couple groups that we meet with regularly that bring in their own sometimes. Like I had a client the other day that was like, what's your favorite sandwich, everybody? She just needed to know. And it was like one of my favorite questions I'd heard in a long time. And we had a little bit of conversation around our favorite sandwiches and why. Uh, and honestly, that's one of my favorite meetings every week because she started a meeting that way one time.
Mhm. I love
So
that. What is your
yeah.
favorite sandwich?
Oh, turkey sandwich, yeah, just
Okay.
every time. What's yours?
You know what? My, like, initial response is I'm not a sandwich girl, but if I
Oh,
had to
what are you?
choose, I'd say a burger or a Reuben or a BLT, but a
That's a lot of
deli
options.
sandwich, not for me.
I
No
think a
cold cuts.
Reuben and a BLT still count as a
Okay.
sandwich.
Does a burger count as a sandwich? That could be our next hot take.
That could be our next hot take. We'll put that on the list. I do have a list of some fun icebreakers that people could bring into meetings I do want to test out with you.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, and none of these are ones you've heard yet. So, brace yourself. What's something you used to judge people for, but now you completely understand?
Sound machines.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Tell me
Yeah.
more about
I
judging people.
I guess it would, judgment's a strong word, but I'm like,
Yeah.
why need a sound machine and like
Yeah.
put so much emphasis on needing that to have a good sleep? And to be
Mhm.
fair, I've always been a great sleeper. That's a privilege. So I guess I'm not speaking to those who maybe have a really hard time sleeping and actually need it, but those who just kind of have it as excess. I've
Yeah.
started using one and somehow I'm sleeping even better than I did before. And I also, my sound machine, like it's kind of these calming waves at night, but then it transitions into birds chirping. That's my alarm. It's just,
Wow.
I know it's just a very nice, like elevated way to wake up. It's not like this crazy alarm
Ugh,
that's hitting you in the face in the morning. So I'd say sound
that's so
machines is the
nice.
first thing that comes to mind.
I'm a big advocate for sound machines at night. My whole house, everybody has them on
You
at
have
nighttime.
children though. We're talking about adults with sound machines.
Well, the reason the adults use it is because the children were using them and we got hooked. We were like,
Oh,
wow,
okay.
that's really nice. We need one in our room too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we couldn't live without it now. I think mine is people that can only work in silence. Like they can only do deep focus work in silence. I used to not understand like I needed always some like a little bit of background noise. Speaking of sound machines, like I needed either some kind of music or something that could kind of pull my attention away in moments so that I could come back and continue to deep focus. But now the silence is a lot more helpful. I don't know what shifted in my brain, but something has changed for me to where I'm like, if we can just get complete silence everywhere, that
Yeah.
would be great. Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's a good thing I work from home.
Yeah.
Okay. One more fun one.
Okay.
What is your favorite household appliance and why?
I love this question because I love a clean home.
Mm,
Do you say favorite appliance or favorite?
appliance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, appliance.
Whatever reason, my mind went to like cleaning items, which is strange. But
It
let's
could
say
count.
appliance, kit, home appliance. This is a really good example of an icebreaker because of the intentional pause that it's requiring of me. Hmm. Do you have one? What's
I
yours?
do.
Okay,
I
tell me
had a
yours.
chance to think about this ahead of
Yeah.
time, so it's unfair. Well, I live in the desert, so I have a strong bias towards my air conditioner
Oh,
and my
okay.
refrigerator. I felt it was like, oh, which thing, if it broke, would I be the most distressed by? And those two are kind of tied, honestly.
Yeah, that's a fair.
So,
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm honestly thinking how many appliances. Okay, washer, dryer,
mhm.
microwave, refrigerator, oven.
Toaster oven, blender.
I don't have a toaster oven.
Oh,
I don't have a blender.
missing out. Those
Maybe
were high on my list.
yeah, maybe people can respond in and tell us what their favorite appliance is because I
Hey,
might be
Posey.
missing out on it. I would love to have an air fryer. I just don't have
Mm.
the space for it. So that would be like if I had a magic wand, it would probably be an air fryer. That's what's coming to mind.
The air fryer was high for me, but when I started thinking about like truly what would be the most distressing, I had to shift it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about I
Okay.
do have a household item that I want to tell people about that I know you'll
Let's hear it.
appreciate. So
Let's hear it.
something that has shifted my like way of being and lifestyle that I have in my home that costs less than $50 is this tray that is the perfect
Oh, nice.
size, yes, for my cell phone. So I have it. I live in a studio, so maybe that comes with a grain of salt, but I have this tray that sits on my nightstand, and that is where my phone lives. My phone doesn't go typically anywhere else in the house. So it has this place to go. That way I can stay like connected and present to doing other things. And it's a nice boundary that I've set for myself. Because I feel like I always have to be available or always on. So
Hmm.
that separation has really helped me. It's not an appliance, but I 10 out of 10 recommend people get one. Tess, I know you have
Yes,
one. How's it been going?
it's great. That's actually helped me with a lot of my personal mental shifts. You inspired that for me and actually got me one. And it's helped me think of my phone more like a house phone where it's on loud. So if somebody calls, I'll hear. If an important message comes through, like maybe I'll hear, maybe I won't, I don't know. But then when I get to it, I get to it. So I've just realized like the world will keep moving whether I'm next to my phone or not, and it's everything's gonna be okay, and I get to be more present in the time being, and that has been so nice because it's been nice to just be where I am and not be worried about what's going on either with the people that are already starting their workday because we're in a different time zone, or the people that are winding down their workday because we're in a different time zone because my period of life is just happening at a different point than theirs is.
Yeah. I love it.
It's been
I love
great.
it. So we
Okay,
have a lot of homework for people.
we do,
Buy
we
a
do.
tray, a little thing, a dish for your phone. We got turn your cell view off.
Yes.
Thirdly,
Practice their eye contact.
yes, 3
3
seconds.
seconds. That's it.
3
That's all they
seconds.
need to do. I'd love to hear more fun icebreakers that don't feel like icebreakers. If people want to leave them in the comments, we
Mhm.
always like to bring in new fun ones. So if they have fun ones, please share them with us.
Yes.
Any other homework?
I think that was it. That
Let
feels right.
Nicole know if there's any other household
Yes.
appliances she's missing out on. I think that
That
would be
too,
the
that
most
too.
important thing. All right. Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to today's episode of Navigating Now. We go live every Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Central, and you can find today's episode along with all of our other episodes at thaudium.com/live.